this is, Thread Special, where we have creatives, entrepreneurs, following their dreams, try to get an understanding of who they are, peeling the layers back. And I have, as I said, a friend in the studio who has had a very interesting butterfly period, from her name change, her music, how she's presenting her music, and everything else. But that's the thing, she's here to tell us everything. Ess Thee Legend. Hi, Dindali. When are you not looking lovely? It's a bit. Like, you're always looking good. You wake up like this?
I'm learning from you.
Oh, I'm very happy to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So we're watching two of your music videos before this. One that was 3 years ago, and one that was quite current. And as I was saying, you transitioned a lot from the name change and all these things. But the good thing is you're still releasing music. So we're going to get into all of that. But a bit of context into how it began for you. Was it always music? Was it something else? Was it basketball?
For me, I've always been a creative. I've always been writing since I was a kid. I've been writing stories. I've been writing poetry. So I have been, creative from time. And I knew I wanted to do music when I got to JSS. But when I got to uni, I was like, you know what? I don't know whether this will happen. So I just went to uni thinking, whatever. But then I met a guitarist in my second semester in level 200 in uni. And we started creating covers, which reignited my passion to make music. And then we performed those covers, and then the following year, in 2019, I started releasing music.
Oh, but it was quite early, this love and this journey.
Yeah, this love.
But was there anything else at all? Because, we have, what you want to be. I wanted to be a pilot, a pharmacist, and everything else, a firefighter.
I mean, there were a lot of things I wanted to be. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to be a producer. I wanted to be a musician. I wanted to be there were so many things on my plate that I felt like was possible for me, but music was always there.
Do you ever think, what if, or are you so happy and content in the space and the music you're in that, nah, it's fine, I made the right decision for myself?
I mean, I always think of the what if, because I have thought about it, and that is why I chose this path, or this path called out to me. Because the what if was, what if I was doing something else? I would be unhappy. I would be unfulfilled and not living in my full purpose. These songs would not exist just like that,
Yeah, that's
and so
true.
I feel like I am where I'm supposed to be.
Okay, so you made that decision. Did you inform anyone else about this love for music? Was it always like an internal quiet thing?
I mean, I felt like the people in my house knew I loved me. I was always singing. I was always learning lyrics.
Okay.
We were always doing singing contests in the house. But I mean, aside that, when I initially started or made up my mind to do music, I did not tell anybody, because I felt like it was my life and my conviction, and nobody's gonna run this race for me, or nobody's come to sing for me or chase my dream. So I decided in my heart that I wanted to do music. And then my parents found out one time because I was on TV, and then they started like what, and my dad was actually really hurt, that I didn't say anything.
Didn't tell him.
Yeah, because it's like I'm living in a house with somebody and they're going on TV and it's all radio silence. But I explained it to him.
Looking back on it now, do you understand his position?
I do really understand.
That's my baby girl.
I really understand, because Sophie is actually my surname, so people were calling him, and it seems like your daughter is on TV.
Was he annoyed as well? Did you guys have a difficult conversation after?
We had a difficult. He wasn't annoyed. He was hurt.
Okay.
Because it felt like, my girl cannot even tell me that she wants to do music, and maybe she's afraid of what I'll say, but I'm not like, I'm not scary.
So what was your explanation for anyone who's watching this, right? Who's a young creative, who's like, I don't know, I'm going to tell daddy or mommy this. How did you explain? How did you calm daddy down, basically?
Well, his initial worry was that, I'm entering into like a space where like, women are really preyed upon, and all of that. And I explained to him that like, whether women go to school or they go to corporate or whatever they do, wherever they find themselves in, it's the same situation, right? So all he needs to do is like, just be prayerful with me, and know that like I'm doing the right things that he taught me to. But aside that, too, I just had an honest conversation with him. My dad has always given me my own choice to. I selected my own courses,
Wow.
Yeah, so he has always given me choice. So it was weird that I didn't tell him. I just was feeling that he would not, because he has given freedom, I shouldn't take advantage of it, you know what I mean? But I know he has always known that I'm a creative. So, and when he heard my first song, he loved it. He was like, oh, I don't know what he had in mind when I said I was a musician. But when he heard my song, he was just like, oh, this is really nice. And I like it. And he was proud of it.
Was there any pushback, from family or friends, people who made you doubt? Because one thing I tend to understand now is people do these things from a place of love, but it doesn't seem like, it's like, how are you going to put your food on your table doing this, right? In this part of the world, you have to be an elite, you have to do this a certain way, make the right business decisions. If you go to school and you're in the office, you're going to get a salary. Music isn't like that, basically. How did that?
I got a bit of a pushback before like it was accepted by my dad. My dad especially, because I remember one time he saw Mr. Easy on BBC and he was like, well, if you're going to do the music, you should follow, his footsteps and come on BBC, yeah. And
only if it was that easy.
Yeah, if it was that easy, right? But you just started, like, how would you, But he came around. He was like, hey, you know what?
Okay.
You're doing well with it. And with friends, people didn't really know I could sing. It just the people close to me knew I could sing. So there was a lot of shock. And also the music I started with was different from anything like people had heard. My first song was called Jiweni. And so there was a confusion. Some people didn't really understand what was going on. That kind of reaction. And then some people were like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever heard. So it was just mixed. And I didn't let the people saying, they don't understand my sound to bash me, because when people are talking, it's all good.
You're very bold, because think about it. You go on TV, Daddy didn't know. You have a tough conversation. You're making music at a time, from what you're saying, the audience didn't really understand you. This is what I want to do, and I did it. And now you're here. Have you always naturally been I'm just gonna do it? Because maybe you haven't thought about it, but like you go against the grain, right? And it's got you here.
Yeah, for me, I do have nerves. Like I always get nervous. I remember my first time performing, I was shaking physically, visibly shaking.
Wow.
And it's not been easy, right? But I have felt a pull, like I said, it was like a calling, like a pull towards this. My boldness, it comes from like, consistency. Because if it wasn't for the fact that I've kept doing this for some time, it's been a couple of years. I don't think I'll be this bold. And I just when I choose a path, or I know that I'm convicted in something I'm doing, I just know I have to go for it. And my mom is a very supportive person. She didn't even hesitate to support me. She just like, you know what, I knew this.
I'm thinking about
She's
the
just like, I knew this.
between mommy and daddy.
No conversation with mommy, just on go. Like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm with it. Like, she was just like, I'm with it.
So two parallels.
Yeah, two parallel. My mom is also like a very on-go person.
Okay.
She's a very hard-working woman.
Okay.
So like, give her that high five. So she taught me to be a hard worker as well.
Shout out to them though.
Yeah,
it's all worked out.
My dad is of blessed memory, but yeah, shout out to them.
Oh man, condolences.
Thank you.
But still, that's the thing. For what he did, it's not going to be taken away.
No,
so that still has to be referenced and appreciated, and that's why we're having this conversation, right?
Absolutely.
Oh man, I'm sure he's proud. I'm
Yeah,
sure. I'm sure he's
yeah,
proud.
yeah.
Okay, so all this happens, as you said, you get into uni. Did you know you wanted to do professionally though? Because like you said, a guitarist, you're just,
I was
touching
just
it.
dilly dally, It's
Yeah.
like I saw a yearbook when I was in school back when I was like 14
Okay.
in JSS, not knowing really what was going on, and I saw that like I still had musician in my, like, what do you want to be in future? I still had musician in my list of things I wanted to be. So it's always been in my heart. So I felt like this was just like, God's will. I really believe in like things falling into place at the right time. It was God's will for me to meet this guitarist, to rekindle my, love for music, for me to go ahead with it. At first I wasn't serious. I would admit, like, when I was doing the covers, I was just performing covers. I was not trying to make music. I was like,
So you're actually performing?
Yeah, I was performing covers. Like, I wasn't performing my
In front
songs.
of okay.
I was performing other people's songs.
Okay, in front of crowds?
Yes.
Wow.
Like restaurants.
And even at that point, you weren't thinking of taking it serious?
Yeah, it was just like,
Wow.
I can sing a bit. So, like,
Wow, that's cool though.
Yeah.
Like, that's really, really cool for someone who's, let them just try it out. And
Yeah.
you're performing in front of people.
Exactly.
And how was the response then?
Yeah,
Because that might have influenced you saying, nah, people like this. Right?
with performing, you get better at it the more you do it. And I did it for some time, like a year.
Okay.
Before, like, I started releasing my own songs.
Okay.
And I love the reactions. I love how people feel. I make people feel by singing. Like, music carries spirit. Music carries emotions.
Sure.
And, like, I can sing a song that would change your demeanor from happy to sad because of, like, just the content and the spirit in the music, right? So I just loved the fact that I was able to do that even with covers. So how much more, being able to convey, like, my own emotion. But then the real thing that actually made it wasn't that deep. That thing that made me change my mind to actually taking it serious. The only thing that made me someone was like, oh, they wanted to interview me, but they only wanted to interview me if I had original songs. And I said, oh, in that case, we are heading to the studio.
No.
Real. It was Live FM at that time.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. But you just didn't have your own original song.
Yeah.
That was like, nope. At this point,
Yeah, I gotta go. Because I had done covers on, like, another station already.
Yes.
That was when my
Okay.
dad and co saw me. That was Christmas carols.
okay.
And then, I didn't have any originals, but another station wanted me to come along. But if I don't have songs, what are we talking
Yeah.
about? What
Wow.
am I talking as a singer?
Yeah.
Which sings other people's, songs, or a musician?
Yeah.
And I had to make up my mind. So at that moment, I made up my mind, I'm gonna.
Had you written any songs at all?
I mean,
Did you have any ideas for possible songs of yours or not?
so I was rusty because I hadn't written
Okay.
since like senior high school.
Okay.
Like at that point, I wasn't writing music. I used to write poetry, music. So I mean, I just was like, what? I don't know what I'm doing right now, but I'm going into the studio to do something, and I did something.
Because
That was
writing is
Juweni.
one thing,
Yeah.
recording is another thing. And there's artists who can write and record, there's artists who can just perform. They have all these things for them. So
Recording is also another skill,
Right,
like, because
recording,
even
right?
how to sing out into the microphone is another
Yes.
thing that you need to learn.
yes. Okay. So all this happens, you're like, nope, I'm gonna get my music going. How long after that did you actually release your first single? After
1
that
year.
period, wow, that was.
So I
that's
started.
quite a
I
bit.
actually started recording the music immediately, but I didn't get to drop until like 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you drop your first single, right? Juweni, as you said.
Yes.
Now you've been performing, for crowds. People are loving the music. Now people even want to interview you. You drop Juweni. New moment, exciting moment. This is your music. This is your baby. Was it everything you'd expected it would be at that moment?
I was just happy and proud to be here because when I initially said that, like, I wanted to create a song, I didn't have no studio access. I didn't know how the first thing about creating a song. I didn't have no producer friends. It was just the people in my hostel, there was a producer from my hostel, someone had a studio from my hostel, so and my guitarist was in my hostel, so it was just like a team effort, like it just came together, and then we did something,
and then you put it out there. What was the response like?
Mixed responses, good, confused, and then some people were just it actually had a lot of people talking about it for a first single.
Yeah. So what genre was it? Was it soul? Was it Afrobeats?
It was like Afro soul.
Oh, now I get it.
Yeah. Oh. It was very different. The beat was unique. The song was unique. How I took it was unique. People didn't really expect.
Were you hesitant about dropping it because of these things you're telling me about?
No, I was completely proud of the song because I knew that it was so me. It was just so me, even at that time.
Yeah.
It was just so me. So I just had to be myself
and just let it out there.
Yeah.
Okay, how long ago was this? That single journey?
I think 5 years ago.
Wow.
Or 6 years ago.
5 years.
Yeah.
That's wild. Okay, so now you drop your first single, officially an artist. I mean, you've always been an artist, but now officially an artist. What's the next step for Ess?
So the next step was to release more music, and because I felt like I was rusty, I had help. I had a writer for the next 2 songs that I dropped. That's Letter to You and Kokoko. Yeah.
Okay. During this period, in your mind, because you were in school, right? I'm sure there were plans, as you said, daddy, maybe mommy had plans for you. Along the way, was it like, I'm going to do this professionally, I'm going to support this with something else that I'm doing? And I think these kinds of conversations are very, very important because in our space, I've met artists who are doing well and they feel like they can't work.
Yeah.
And I've met artists who want to work and support what they're doing, but I'm famous, how am I going to do this? Am I going to stop my career, chase my dream?
Well, when I started, I was in school, right? So aside school, I did have a business. I was making fresh coconut milk.
I need some of that. I need
that business is in the shadows, but maybe it will come back. I was making fresh coconut milk in school, juggling that, and even church work. So I was juggling a lot of things. So much that I think it was just overwhelming. So I dropped a couple of things, the business, the church work, and then I focused on the music and the school.
Okay.
And then so with music, right? Music is quite selfish, but I would say that especially if you're a mainstream artist, this is an opportunity for you to make a business because you have you have the name already. You can just start something. But I feel like with music, right, you need money to make music. So if you have a job that you are doing already, you don't have to quit, until you are sure that you have a way to sustain what you're doing. Currently, I'm a full-time artist. Wow. And there are ways to make money as an artist, right? But the system we are in Ghana, right? So it's empirical that you have to have a plan before you switch. Yeah. And on those who are already doing music and feel like they want to start a business, go for it. Yeah. If you can balance it and it can go in line with your song, just go for it.
Not too long ago, myself and the team were talking on the morning show about the environment we're in and whether it enables us as artists, myself, Jay Foley, Lenny and Cyril, and I want to pick your brain on this. And we're all chipping in about, the struggles. I remember Cyril talking about, Charlie, you wake up, you have rent to pay now, the music is being sidelined, and like you said, music is very, very selfish. So something I want to find out from artists I talk to now is, do you think this environment we're in, per the industry, ourselves and the audience, because we're all interconnected, the conversations we're having, is it an enabling environment for an artist, do you think?
I don't think it's very enabling. I think it's not, but I mean, with policy plans coming along, we may get there. We have so much amazing talent in Ghana. It would be a shame not to take advantage of the advancements elsewhere to apply it to our system with the nuances, because that here is not the same as maybe Nigeria, or here is not the same as USA, but we need to find a way to make it work for industry so that people it can be sustainable. Once there's money flowing in everywhere, sustainable, and then we can continue to make talents great here in Ghana.
On this 5-year journey, what's been the most difficult part for you?
Difficult part is getting funding for projects is difficult. And I feel like not just me, it's all artists go through this. Also, like sometimes getting motivated can be, you need to be strong because it's very hard. You know, a lot of artists, they won't tell you, they cry a lot.
Yeah,
they cry a lot.
Yeah, I know this.
And they cry a lot every day. Maybe every day you don't see all this saying ha 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 ha. We are jumping around. People think that being a musician is the easy part. It is actually the hardest part. You have to be called, you know, to, if you don't have money already, you have to be called to do it, because it's not an easy route that people think, oh, it's easy. Like, I haven't slept for like the past few days, moving around, doing this, doing that. Music is not simple. It's actually tough. Right. So people should people need to understand that even before they enter that, knowing that you have to be called, you have to know that you want this before you can do it.
I mean, I pick so much from what you're saying, because again, I was talking to some of the friends here and I was saying, you know, even with the greats, right? Let's look at these athletes like Cristiano Ronaldo and Kobe Bryant. They work so hard, now they've gained everything. What makes them want to go? And it has to be a drive, because they've got the money, they've got the fame, you know, they're there. So that's why I like the way you're saying it's a calling. It's not just, I want to be, you know, showy. It's
not like I want to be on the big screen.
Right?
It requires so much from you. It requires your passion. It requires your essence in the form of the music. It's your essence because your spirit, your soul is in it. It requires your time, so much time, 24/7. You're on go. Because,
and what is that thing that has kept you going, Ess? Because again, I'm sure you've had even more difficult moments, more exciting moments, more things you expect of yourself, and it's been a 5-year journey.
Yeah.
Just like anybody who's been doing anything for 5 years, very commendable. What is that thing that has kept you going? Is it that love for the music? Is there something else?
I guess I do have love for the music, but also like I feel like I have so much messages that like I just want to bring out, and like until I'm done bringing them out, I'm not gonna like stop making the music, you know. And also like so far I've been able to get some support along the way. They have some people like are super supportive that they've put me in their bio, they've pinned me in their tweets, they make sure they repost my stuff every day, and these people like make me feel like, oh, I am doing something if, you know, it's catching on that way. And aside that too, like I love making people feel things, you know. I love performing.
And we love seeing you perform.
Thank you. Performing is just me, my way of connecting to people. So I just love it. And so I don't see why I would stop,
nice.
You know.
In the midst of all this, you're still releasing music.
Yes.
But before we do get to the new music and some other exciting things you're up to, let's talk a little bit again about the name change. Because it is still your name. It's still Ess, right?
It's still Ess.
But now it's The Legend.
Yeah.
Why that decision, for those who don't know, for you? And was it difficult in terms of business-wise? Because now people know you as this, and now they're going to have to recognize you as that. Please tell us about it.
The name change was something that I thought about, I kept thinking about, and I was like, you know what, I want a name that like punches people in the face, and I want to manifest my legendary status. Manifest it way before like I'm grown enough to be called a legend. So I'm a legend now and not like later, you know what I mean? And so I really thought about it. And then I made that transitionary song, Prayed Up, which I in the beginning I say, oh, my name is Ess, but you can call me Ess Thee Legend. And it's about to get real scary up in here. Like, that was me announcing myself low-key. I know it's been tough because there are a lot of people who still know me as Ess, right? And Ess is forever going to be my real name. And there are people who are going to permanently call me that, you know. But Ess Thee Legend is the now, and I'm making efforts to, you know, reconcile the two, so people know that like they are one and the same, but just that now I'm going with, you know, Ess Thee Legend.
Has anyone in any realm, anywhere, misconstrued the legendary in the name, saying that, oh, she hasn't done enough to be called a legend. Like, why is she calling herself a legend? You know,
I
saying
feel
this
like
here, I
I feel
understand
like
it now.
there might be some talk going on behind my back, but I haven't heard it yet. I mean, I know there is, because someone
Yeah.
told me that there is some. You know, why is she calling herself a legend?
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you haven't, you know, seen it yet doesn't mean it's not there.
Doesn't mean you don't see it.
Yeah, it means you haven't seen it yet, but it's, you know, like, even for me, the way I think and what the plans I have, I'm manifesting because I know what I have seen in my head, and I know what I'm manifesting. So there's so many things that I have in mind that is going to solidify the legendary status, and then I pray that God makes it happen.
It's gonna happen. Now, how many songs do you have? How many full bodies of work too?
I think if we count the songs, it should be like 15 plus songs.
That's
3 projects. That's 1 joint EP with Red W, 2 EPs. Yeah.
For those who've never heard your music, what message do you try to put across to the audience? What do you want to talk? What do you want them to understand?
For me, I just keep it real. Like, I'm not here to like be fake and say that, oh, this is it. Like, whatever I'm feeling, I keep it 100% real. Like, so that's what I want people to understand, that that is me. Like, I'm not honest in a way that's offensive. I think I'm brutally honest in my dealings. You know, I don't like lying. For what? Will you come and beat me? No. You know what I mean? So we keep it real here. That's what my music is about. So if I'm talking about like shaking bomb, like that's what we've been doing. Like, you know, in our free time. You know, if I talk about like my emotions, about a heartbreak I just went through, is real. Like, some of them are like stories that may not be my own, or something I'm juxtaposing. Like maybe with the Notice Me song, even though it's a song about yearning, about for somebody, for me is more like me yearning to be seen by the industry, right? Yeah.
Do you feel like sometimes you've gotten too real? You know, you put the story and they're like, this was a bit much, because very judgmental space we're in. You know, you can say the sweetest thing, taken out of context, right?
Yeah, we're in a very judgmental space.
Have you been in that position where I probably shouldn't have said this, or you're just like, nah, it's out there?
Nah, it's out there. It's out there. Like, unless you come and ask me, because it's out there. Like, I feel like we need to, as artists, we need to stray away from being boring. The reason why we are creatives is, you know, we are here to change status quo. We are here to fight things. We are here to, you know, we are not here to conform. We are not, artists and creators are not conformists. So exactly.
They keep moving. It's crazy for me to say. I think you've had a very good year. When we were 4 months into the year, but it seems like you're gonna have a very good year. Right?
Hallelujah!
Right? Because you have so much coming up. Yeah. Okay, what's been your best year in music so far? Was it last year? Was it last 2 years? Was it the first year? And that's going to lead up to this year.
Honestly, you know, I think the best is yet to come, because it's just getting better and better. Because, you know, was it back 2 years ago? 2 years ago, I won a grant from the British Council. I was on some of the big stages, James and Connect. Like, I've done so much now that, like, sometimes I don't even remember what exactly I've done. I've been doing my own shows for the past 4 years. Like, it's just been a blessing to be here, and I pray that it gets to where.
Okay, so the reason for that is you released new music this year, January. You've just been nominated at the TGMAs.
Yes.
First time?
First time.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Now y'all get me. You see?
Thank you so much.
We're going to get back to you again. And you have your own show coming up.
Yeah.
Wow, we have to start somewhere. Okay, let's go to January. What music did you release? And is that what we're still promoting?
Yes.
Okay.
So currently, that song is Notice Me.
Yes. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Who are you talking to, AC? Who is that? We're
the
gonna get jealous here.
Notice Me. Yes.
Okay. Not a guy.
No, not a guy.
Okay. You're gonna make people jealous.
But I mean, you know, but the song, if you listen to the song, is like literally telling somebody like, you know, my star-crossed lover, my favorites, and look what you've done to me. Like, I'm begging.
Does the
right now
industry
here.
not notice you? Do you think?
I don't
honestly?
think so. I feel like some people notice me, and I give my attention.
I mean, Through
to-
Music does, of
yes,
course.
Through
That's
Music
right.
notices me. I did my third S live at Through Music, so shout out
one.
to Through Music.
Nice one.
Yes.
Nice one. Nice one.
Through Music does notice me, so shout out to y'all. Anyway, I would say that there are people who notice me. There are places that notice me, and
Okay.
I always big them up, and I always appreciate it. But when it gets to some spaces too, it's like the MJ I give you. You know what I mean? But also,
Would you care to elaborate a little bit? I mean, not specifically where, but do you mean in terms of nominations, performances? You know, Issy can do this, your team reaches out, they don't respond. Where do you feel like...
well, I feel like
noticed?
not necessarily just me. I just feel like a segment of people are
Okay.
being overlooked, you know,
Okay.
in a certain way in mainstream. Because I feel like, you know, if people like us are also given, you know, we are different. I know, like, I'm different. I know, like, I don't do, even though I'm sound Ghanaian, I sound me. I know it's not, you know, but if we are all given the chance, you know, it would look so good for the whole space, because
just
we have
bring
like so many,
Yeah.
so much variety, so
Yeah,
much sauce.
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
we have
yeah.
the high lives, we have the, you know, the altar, we have the rap, we have everything going on,
More
the dance hall.
awareness,
Yeah,
right?
more
For
awareness.
These creatives, these artists, the music.
And I feel
the
like
genres.
TGMA is the way for me to have been noticed. So I feel like I have manifested it. So
Yeah,
notice
that's
me.
true, because you said
into
it's in
being
January.
noticed. Yeah.
And now you're being noticed.
Yeah.
That's interesting, but congratulations.
Thank you so
That's
much.
big.
Thank
How
you
did
so
you find out? Was it on the internet? Did somebody call you?
So, I mean, you know, you post your picture so people repost it. So I did that thing, and then one day I was just there, and then I saw, like, you know, now on your status someone can mention you. So I was just there, someone mentioned congratulations.
No.
I was like, you're kidding! Oh my god! I actually tried tried in 2023,
Okay.
and so it's like, wow. What was it? Delay is not denial, is it?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Were you able to contain yourself? Were you with somebody? Were you alone in your room? I want to know where you were.
I was alone in my room.
Who did you call first?
I don't. I think I sent it to a group with
Okay.
some of my team members in there,
Okay,
and then they were like, "Whoa, we're
That's
in,
cool.
we're in."
That's cool. That's cool.
Yes.
That's cool. So, what are you nominated for specifically?
The unsung category.
Okay.
Yeah, which is like, you know, people who are working but haven't been, you know, praised, you know, unsung. So
enough.
you're
Who haven't
about
been
to sing
noticed. You're
your
going to be
praises
noticed.
now. Yes.
But that's wonderful, because I've seen you perform so much. You know, I've spoken to you a lot.
Yeah.
These are like full circle moments, and like you're saying, you know, in January you released this music, and now you're out there. How does Ess Thee Legend, right, plan to take advantage of this? Because this is another step in the journey.
Yes,
God willing,
just
so much more to
another
come.
step, yes.
Right. Even though it's a very big step. This is the
yes.
TGMAs.
Yes.
Right. What's the
Ghana's
plan?
own Grammys.
Right. Our very own.
Yeah.
How do you plan to take advantage of this?
I am putting. I'm right now. I'm working on music. I'm working on my next show, which is Ess Live 5.
Okay.
But also, I'm taking advantage of the PR that is being granted us by God's grace. We are being, you know, I mean, we went to Takrade last weekend to do the TGMA Experience concert, which was also live on TV.
Yeah.
So I saw that people saw us perform live. Bloggers posted about us. We are doing more interviews, you know. So I'm trying to take advantage of the PR to, you know, promote my music, promote everything that's going on with me, promote my brand, and let people follow me and follow the journey.
Man, I'm so proud of you and so happy for you.
Thank you.
Your show, please tell us a bit about that before you leave.
Yeah,
When is that happening? And is this the first one?
No, this is the fifth show, Ess Live 5.
That's
Ess Live is
incredible.
my headline show. Yeah, thank you. And it will be happening on the 28th of June and at Alliance Française. God
Wow,
willing.
your 5th one.
Yes.
That's incredible. It's like
Milestone.
you just start the music, and it's this is going to be an incredible year. I just feel it for you. Like it's going to be a
Hallelujah.
really great year. The way it's kicked off with everything you've been through, like it's culminated into all these moments, and things happen so we can handle ourselves, right? We make these mistakes on these journeys.
Yeah.
And man, I can't wait to see how the TGM is. You already know what you're gonna wear, because I know that's a big thing for.
It's a big thing.
ladies,
I'm
right?
even in the house with my stylist, like we've been scheming.
Can't wait to see.
And I also want to win this TGMA unsung, so I can be on the big stage.
Please tell the fans before you leave us what it means to you, why they should vote for you, and everything else you want to tell them.
Please vote for me for the TGMA unsung category, because it means so much to me to be noticed, to be seen, and to put my art out there so that everybody connects with it. I want to be on the big stage, so help me make that happen by voting for me. I've forgotten the short code, Seth. What's the short code? 1767. And then I think the option is U4. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Ess Thee Legend.
yeah, but there's
also free voting as well. Okay. That's on in my bio or in TGMA.
Okay. So what is your social media for those who want to find?
Okay. Ess Thee Legend. ESSTHEE Legend everywhere.
Okay, so these 2 E's.
Yes.
Okay.
2 E.
Very easy to find her. Please support her. She's got amazing music, and all your old songs are still on your YouTube.
Yeah.
And all these
they are
streaming
all
platforms,
there.
so people can go and listen to them.
Yeah. They are all there.
Okay. It's been a wonderful conversation.
It's been great.
I hope we get to talk like this some more.
Yes.
Every time I talk, it's like we talk about different stuff.
Yeah. Always have different vibes to give.
Right. And I'm taking it all in. I'm taking it. I'm having fun. I hope you guys are too, and I'm sure they are. Is there anything else you want to tell your fans? Because we've spoken about so much.
Yeah.
Before you leave.
I would say to the fans, just keep supporting me, keep coming through for me, and we're gonna eat good soon.
Nice one. I like that. This has been Thread Special with Ess Thee Legend. Please find her again, buy her music, support her, and I always say, this is an artist's home here at 3 Music Television on Thread Special. Have a very special one. Signing off with her music. Enjoy.